My crazy mother tried to abandon my pet on the street multiple times, all because they used the bathroom inside of their house. My mother has tried to dump our cat onto the streets multiple times. The first time she opened the porch door, allowing him to run away if he wanted to. The second time, she forced him into a filthy basement. She did this to try and make sure he'd get in the cage she put down there. It had food and water to try and lure him in. He never went in there, so she forced him to stay in the basement from April of 2021 to October of 2021. At one point in September, she wanted him gone because she assumed he used the bathroom outside of his litter box. And surprise, surprise, he didn't do that. My mom tried to dump him because he went to the bathroom in her room too much in his first week at our new house. Go figure when having a new pet, right? It's more messed up when you realize why she got the cats in the first place. When I was a kid, I got abused by her ex, and on the evening I told her, she wanted me to get anything at all, something to make it up to me. So she asked if I wanted a cat or a dog. I got my dear Max and 2 other cats in a very emotionally vulnerable time in my life. In February of this year, my other remaining cat, Castle, once peed in my mother's room. He used to spray a lot in our old house, but has hardly ever done so in the new house. She began devising a plan of how to dump him and get rid of him, but didn't follow through because she loved him too much. Also, before we moved into this new house, we had a goldfish. He was a little big, as was his fish tank. We'd had no room for him in this new house, so she dumped him down the toilet while he was still alive. Also, she believes in slapping dogs with newspapers rolled up in electrical tape. She would do this to our one dog by the name of Vader, and that dog became absolutely terrified of that rolled up piece of paper. When she brought home our new puppy, Harley, she also brought home the other taped up newspaper stick for situations where the puppy misbehaves or does something wrong. I never gave her the chance to use it on her because I threw it out. In September, when she wanted my cat dumped, she found out he didn't go outside his litter box while he was trapped in the basement. He is now upstairs and in our house on the condition that he uses the litter box as he should. In September, when I thought he was getting thrown outside, I remember being in the filthy, ancient basement and just simply cuddling him. I was in tears and told him to never forget me and told him that I loved him. It was overall a terrible experience. It sounds like this mother does not need a dog or any kind of pet. She is clearly an abusive owner. I want to circle back to something that was said earlier. The goldfish was flushed down the toilet while it was still alive. That is horrible. Like, the mom has no business being around any kind of animals. And did you know that it is a federal crime to commit animal cruelty? I mean, how can you just treat an innocent animal like that? Especially if you haven't taken the time to train them and to have them act in the way you want them to act. Fun fact, you really can train cats. You can train them to go inside their litter box. There is a way to do it, but just threatening to throw the cat out and saying, okay, off into the real world you go, have fun by yourself, is blatant animal cruelty, and she should not have animals in her life. It's also upsetting that she would beat her dog. That is not the way to train a dog and have it still like you and have any semblance of a good relationship with you or anybody else. It's going to be afraid of you. It's going to act timid and scared. This is abuse, neglect, and it personally really upsets me. And in my opinion, if this gets any worse, you might need to get the authorities involved. Those animals are innocent and don't deserve to be treated poorly.
The full version of this video is on the Am I the Jerk YouTube channel, so check the link in the description for it. And if there are any updates to this story, that's where they'll be. There is also a podcast version of this show on Spotify, Apple Music, or whatever you use. Just search Am I the Jerk. It's perfect for those of you guys that use Spotify or whatever platform you want to listen to podcasts while you're driving or on the bus or drawing or planning to take over the world. So go check out the Am I the Jerk and Am I the Genius podcasts on any of those platforms.